Live coverage starting soon. Live coverage starting. It's time for Kennett Indian Baseball. Sponsors for our broadcast include Baker Implement Company, Wilcoxon's Home Place Furniture in Kennett, by McDonald's, by Farm Credit Services of Southeast Missouri, the Law Office of Todd and Atwood, State Farm Insurance Agent Greg Wilson, Kennett Trust Bank, by the Law Office of Peltz, McMullen, Edgington, and Morgan, Harris Pharmacy, Southeast Missouri State University in Kennett, by Glen Sane Motors, by Pemiscott Dunkland Director Danny Glass, by Larry Boone and John Sammons at the Kennett Country Club, by American Elite Realty, and by NEA Baptist Hospital. Broadcast boosters include FM Bank, T.R. Baker Insurance, Skeeter Kell Sporting Goods, Duncan Sheet Metal, Bentley Farms, and Zenith State Bank. And now, Kennett Indian Baseball.
And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Indian Park as we get set for Kennett Indian Baseball this afternoon as it's a SEMO Conference matchup against the Sikeston Bulldogs. It is a beautiful day. If you can sneak off from work, our scheduled first pitch is 4 o'clock. Both teams have already had their infield practice, and they are tidying up around the bases and around the home plate here. The head coaches will meet with the umpires, and we'll get set to get this one underway, as you couldn't ask for a better afternoon for baseball from Indian Park. One of our great broadcast sponsors this afternoon is FM Bank, located at 500 Independence Avenue in Kennett. They're online at myfm.bank, full-service banking, where decisions are made locally. Auto, home, commercial, and agricultural loans to FM Bank. People matter. An equal housing lender, member FDIC. Looks like the grounds crew has finished their work here, and the word is, here at Indian Park, we're about to have baseball. Isn't that right, little man?
He ain't lying.
Having a little fun at the ballpark. Come on out. Bring your radio. We are on KBOA FM 105.5. We are streaming on the Wolf streaming platforms. That is Facebook, that is Twitter, and KTMOradio.com. Back with more from Indian Park right after this.
What started with our grandfather and continues in its fourth generation today, Glen Sane's history of quality sales, service, and strong personal relationships that have kept our customers and their families coming back for over 69 years.
From my grandpa to my dad to us, service after the sale is a big deal. Whether you're looking to buy a GMC, Chevrolet, Buick, or Ford, we look forward to serving you and your family for years to come.
Agriculture is not a fad, and it's not for the faint of heart. Long days become long nights, sacrificing time away from family, even on weekends, just so you can get the crop in and get the crop out. This is your way of life. At Farm Credit Southeast Missouri, we are 100% bought into your commitment. Because we are customer-owned, it is our mission to be your ag lender, and we intend to be your value-added partner for next year and the long term.
Your ag lender will always be there.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings,
Or your favorite band rocks the charts at number 1? It feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number 1 is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
See State Farm agent Greg Wilson in Kennett. Call 888-4913.
Back at Indian Park, the coaches are meeting with the umpires, and we're going to get started a little early this afternoon. Come on out to Indian Park if you can. If not, sit back, enjoy a live stream. Our radio broadcast here from Indian Park this afternoon as Class 5 Sikeston, the opponent against the Kennett Indians this afternoon. Sikeston coming into this one with a record of 1-8 on the season, as the Bulldogs having a tough go of it so far. But anytime you play a Sikeston team, you always have to be careful. They are allowing almost 12 runs a game. So that has been the issue for Sikeston, allowing almost 12 runs a game, and they're scoring about 4 runs a game. For Kennett, with a record now of 8-4 after the 4-3 victory over Portageville on Tuesday of this week, and now the Indians come into this one. They are allowing 3 runs per ball game. Their runs scored has dropped down to 5.1, so still the run production is an issue for the Kennett Indians. After winning their first 7, that run production has dropped off, and Coach Aaron New continues to make some tweaks to his lineup. So let's check the starting lineups here this afternoon, as Sikeston will be coming to the plate. In the top half of the first inning, the catcher Gadberry will lead things off. Heckemeyer will be in right field and batting second. Sullivan will be at third base and hitting third, and the cleanup hitter is Taylor, who is the DH in the batting order. Crow will be at second base and batting fifth. Pruitt will be at first base and batting sixth for the Bulldogs. Levitt will be in center field and hitting seventh. And Wallace will be the shortstop, batting eighth. And Poindexter will be in left field and batting ninth for Sikeston. Here's the way the Indians will come to the plate in the bottom half of the inning, and I'll tell you about their defensive positions. They'll be in the field in the top half of the inning. The leadoff hitter this afternoon will be Tanner Pierce. Tanner has seen that role quite a bit. J.C. Poole jumped in their last ball game against Portageville, and now Tanner Pierce back in there, and Tanner will be in the field playing third base. J.C. Poole will be in the second spot offensively, one of the leading Kennett hitters on the season. J.C. will be in the field playing second base and batting second in the order. Brooks Niggett will be batting third for Kennett and playing center field. Cleanup hitter Trey Gardner will also be doing the pitching for the Indians. Trey with a big 2-run homer, the big blast against Portageville to open things up and secure that 1-run victory at Portageville on Tuesday. Hayden Gilmore will be batting fifth, and in left field, Caleb Duncan batting sixth will be the catcher. The DH this afternoon will be Evan Parker. So Evan will be back in the DH role for the Indians. Matt Gardner will be at shortstop and batting eighth, and Ashton Williams will be in right field and batting ninth as the Indians take the field. Owen Williams trotting out to first base. He is not in the batting order, but will be at first base defensively for the Kennett Indians. And going to the mound to take his warm-up tosses is the Kennett senior, Trey Gardner. Looking at Trey's numbers on the season, he's pitched 14 innings so far, and he has won 1 game. Does not have any losses on the season, but he has saved 3 games and 3 save opportunities. So Trey getting the start here has been very effective coming into the ball games and closing things out. Has an earned run average of 2 runs. On the ERA side of things, he has struck out 11 batters so far this season, and he has walked 4. But Trey has also hit 3 batters. But 11 strikeouts, a good number, given up 9 hits, 6 runs, 4 earned runs, and 14 innings of work, and the ERA at 2 for the Kennett right-hander. Trey Gardner, as he takes his warm-up tosses. All Goods Towing, one of our great broadcast sponsors of Kennett Indian Baseball. Give All Goods a call when you need a tow, unlocking services, and much more. It's all good at All Goods Towing, 888-2210, and we're ready for baseball. about 5 minutes early here at Indian Park this afternoon. Beautiful sunshine, a light breeze, and for one day, Tad Jones is not complaining about the weather here at Indian Park. As Luke Gadberry will lead things off, right-handed hitter facing Trey Gardner. Trey works out of the stretch, and a pitch, a ground ball to second base. J.C. Poole on a big hop will flip to first for out number one. Two hopper to J.C. and one pitch and one out's how we start this ball game as Gadberry grounds out to second. Joseph Heckmeyer, the right fielder, right-handed hitter, steps to the plate. Kennett outfield straight away, infield back, and Trey Gardner. Once again, pitching out of the stretch all the time for Trey. And the pitch headed home. Here's a ground ball in the hole. It's going to get into right field between second and first. Ashton Williams will get it back in. And Joseph Heckmeyer with a one-out single to right. Wasn't hit that hard, but in the perfect spot between the second baseman and first baseman for Kennett. That brings up Trey Sullivan, left-handed hitting third baseman for the Bulldogs. Heckmeyer, the runner at first. Owen Williams holds him on. Trey Gardner comes set, and the first pitch is a curveball outside, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Trey Sullivan, runner at first, one down here from Indian Park. Throw to first, and Heckmeyer back in there safely. They've been working on the scoreboard, ordered a part after they talked to the scoreboard company, and they put the part in, and the scoreboard worked worse than it did before. They replaced the part. Runner goes, and a ground ball to second. J.C. Poole's only places to first. That time, putting Heckmeyer in motion probably saved the double play ground ball. That one was hit pretty hard off the bat of Sullivan. But the fielder's choice. Poole to Owen Williams, and Heckmeyer down at second base now with two outs. And Dayton Taylor, left-handed hitter, stands in, the DH and the cleanup hitter. Runner in scoring position. Now with two down here in the first inning. Now time is called. High pitch, and nice stop by Caleb Duncan. Heckmeyer down at second. And a 1 ball, no strike count to Taylor. Taylor takes this one in there for a strike. 1-1 the count to Dayton Taylor. Outfield straight away for Kennett. Wind has kind of been circling around. Not much breeze right now at the ballpark. It's blown in for a bit, and then we see the flag kind of blowing out toward center field. Next pitch headed home. Hard hit ground ball again to J.C. Poole. J.C. again to first, and that'll do it for Sikeston in the top of the first. They'll strand a runner after a hit in the inning. Kennett bats bottom half of the first in a scoreless ball game.
Southeast Missouri State University. Your university, your hometown, with personalized support from faculty and staff who care. Prepare for a career that matters from day one, all while earning a degree in your own backyard. Do more than take classes. Take control of your future. Get your 4-year degree at Southeast Missouri State University. Learn more at semo.edu/regional.
At Todd and Atwill LLP in Kennett, your situation matters. They understand that unfortunate circumstances arise and are here to provide the legal services you need with integrity and care. Partnering attorneys Darren Todd and Lee Atwill are committed to providing the best legal representation possible. They specialize in personal injury, criminal defense, social security disability, bankruptcies, and more. Visit toddatwill.com for more information. Todd and Atwill, LLP, proud to support the Kennett Indians.
Kennett bats in the bottom half of the first inning. Tanner Pierce, J.C. Poole, and Brooks Niggett, followed by Trey Gardner, Hayden Gilmore, Caleb Duncan, then Evan Parker, Matt Gardner, and Ashton Williams. Rush Alt The left-hander on the mound for Sikeston, taking his warm-up tosses. Lance Penn joins us here in the booth. Good to have you back in the booth, Coach. I know you wear a
it's good to
different
be
hat
back.
during the day.
It's been a while since we've been up here. I'm just glad I got a chair today, Perry.
Well, yeah.
Hey.
Thanks to softball not being going here at Indian Park, but a beautiful day for baseball. Good to have Lance Penn back in the booth with us this afternoon as Tanner Pierce will lead things off for Kennett. Mentioned that Kennett's still kind of searching for that hitting order they want to go with, and Tanner hitting .341 on the season, has a home run. Highest slugging percentage on the team as well. You don't see that often from a leadoff hitter, but that's what you have with Tanner Pierce, and he takes ball one outside from Rush Alt. If you're watching our live video stream, we appreciate you tuning in, and our radio broadcast on KBOA FM 105.5 this afternoon. Alt's next pitch to Pierce. Curveball is pulled foul down toward the Kennett dugout. Watch out over there. J.C. Poole in the on-deck circle for Kennett. Tanner leads the team with hits and 14 hits on the ball game and tied for the lead with 7 RBIs. This pitch outside. 2-1 to Tanner Pierce, leading off the bottom half of the first inning for Kennett. Outfield plays Pierce around a pull. Pretty good gap out in right center field. Curveball, called strike at the knees from Alt. 2-2 the count. The lefty's 2-2 pitch is outside. Ball 3. 3-2. Kennett's leadoff hitter, Tanner Pierce.
Come on, Tanner.
3-2 pitch from Alt. Fouled out of play. Watch out, girls, on the softball field. Lady Indians practicing this afternoon.
They got one coming up, I think, tomorrow. Or is it tomorrow or Friday? One of the two. They play Greene County Tech the opposite day that we do.
The 3-2 pitch. And a line drive center field is well hit. Center fielder back. Got a great jump as Levitt out there to haul it in for out number 1. But well hit by Tanner Pierce and a good jump by the center fielder for the Bulldogs. And that's out number 1 on the line drive. Here's J.C. Poole coming to the plate. J.C. continues to lead the team in hitting with a .400 average, on base percentage of .526.
You know, one thing, even though I haven't been beside you here on the booth, I've been able to watch and listen at home, and the one thing that's still staying true with JC, he just keeps finding ways to get on base. I think it's such a big reason. Another one reason he's at the top of this lineup now.
The 1-0 pitch to JC is the first curveball stayed inside, and there's a pitch outside to JC. 2-0. You know, the number 2 hitters, they have to do a lot of things. JC's a good bunter. We've seen that. He puts the ball in play and really makes the pitchers work, and that's what you look for from that number 2 spot. Here's a pitch outside, and it's 3-0 to J.C. Poole.
He don't always not only makes a pitcher work, but he can work a BP pitcher too. He knows what he can handle and likes, and he's got a very good command of the strike zone.
The 3-0 pitch is in there, almost an automatic that time, as J.C. with, like you say, a great sense of the strike zone and bat control at the plate. When you look at the numbers, he's only struck out 2 times on the season, so he'll put the ball in play. And here's ball 4, low and away. So a 1-out base runner, J.C. Poole, and there's what we're talking about as J.C. works the walk. Brooks Niggett now coming to the plate. Brooks hitting .273 on the season. 9 hits, and he has hit into a lot of tough luck. Hit a lot of balls hard this season. It's been right at defenders, but swung the bat well at Portageville. Here's a ball low to the Kennett senior.
You know, and that's hard on a hitter, but you know that ball's eventually going to find gaps. I know it's said a lot in baseball, but just keep putting the ball in play.
Brooks puts this one in play. A line drive to right center field. J.C. Poole round second. Headed to third. That one's in the gap, and J.C.'s not going to slow down. Brooks Niggett into second, and the throw coming home. J.C. will score, and Kennett goes up 1-0 off the RBI double by Brooks Niggett. And there you talk about it. Just hit it hard somewhere, and good things happen.
Yeah, just when the ball reaches outfield grass on a hit, good things are going to come down. It's just again, if you've listened to this broadcast for any amount of time, we talk about it. When you put the ball in play and put the pressure on the defense, you're at the advantage of the offense. A lot of things can happen.
Trey Gardner now hits with Brooks Niggett at second. Trey hitting .355 on the season. 7 RBIs and the home run against Portageville, and he smashes this one.
Oh.
And it's going to be fouled. Hooked it down the right field line. Foul. But Trey was ready and hit that one hard, but there's hooking foul.
I think you mentioned it there, Trey, coming off that big game against Portageville, that big 2-run home run to kind of get us going there in that tough matchup that was on Monday. So
Trey as a hitter started a little slow, but he's really heated things up. Second leading hitter on the ball club right now, and that batting average continues to go up. Next pitch to Gardner from the left-hander is outside. Lefty-on-lefty matchup doesn't seem to affect Trey Gardner a lot. He hangs in there real well against left-handed pitching. 1-1 the count to Gardner. Niggett, the runner at second, and Kennett up 1-0. Bottom of the first. This pitch low, and nice block by Gadberry will keep Brooks Niggett down at second base. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. Good to have our viewers from Sikeston tuning in this afternoon as we bring you the SEMO Conference matchup. A lot of these names they remain the same for Sikeston, probably the same for Kennett, just year after year, and they keep rotating younger players up to take the place of those who have graduated and moved on. Ball 3 is lown away from Alt. Hayden Gilmore, another left-handed hitter in the on-deck circle for Kennett. 1 down, bottom of the first. 3-1 the count to Trey Gardner. RBI double by Brooks Niggett. Driving in Tanner Pierce. Driving in J.C. Poole. Here's a pop fly down the left side. In foul ground. Now the third baseman will go back and try to make an over-the-shoulder catch and can't handle it. Sullivan kind of ran in on it, then went back, and it went off his glove in foul territory, so the count goes full
that
to Trey
ball
Gardner.
Was a baseball size away from being fair. I mean, it just barely missed the, I would say chalk, but the paint on the line over there.
3-2 now the count to Trey Gardner. And the left-hander Alt would love to get out number 2 here in the inning. Brooks Niggett at second base. And the 3-2 pitch. Coming home to Trey Gardner. Trey takes it for ball 4. Runners at first and second now for Kennett. And here's Hayden Gilmore. Hayden, one of the youngsters on this team. We just have to keep remembering how young he is and thrown right into the fire this year. And he's jumped right in there, fit right in with his Kennett Indian ball club.
Kind of like he's never really not been there, just fits right in.
Alt, the left-hander, facing the left-handed hitting Gilmore. In the first pitch, a curveball is a beauty. Called strike 1.
Good take, I think, too. Good pitch, good take, not one you want on a 0-0 count.
But that one to Gilmore, about belt high, a little bit further over the inside part of the plate, and Hayden it goes from a tough pitch to one you want to get.
Yes, 100% there.
Now the 0-1 pitch coming to Gilmore with runners at first and second, 1 down, bottom of the first. And there's that pitch, a little bit inside, and Hayden did a good job to lay off of that.
Not as much break on that one there, but it was, again, it's a tough one to lay off on a lefty right there, especially when you can see that spin coming at you.
1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Gilmore. 1 down, bottom of the first inning. Alt, out of the stretch. The pitch is at the knees on the outside corner. That's a tough one there. Hayden Gilmore didn't go for it, and
again,
a strike 2.
In a hitter's count there, 2-0, it's got to be kind of really, really good. I think it was another good take there from Hayden. Good job.
Now the 1-2 Runners at first and second, one down. They'll turn and look Brooks Niggett back to second without a throw.
I was wondering when they were going to do that. He kept getting a lot of attention, so I thought that a pickoff move or a step off was coming.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Alt facing Gilmore with a couple of runners on. Hayden strokes it to right field, and this is going to get down for a base hit. Good job of hitting by Gilmore. The runner, Niggett, will round third and come home, and it'll be first and third. RBI single by Hayden Gilmore. Nothing but line drives so far, and it's worked out for the Indians. Brooks Niggett scoring on the last play, and Trey Gardner with alert base running goes to third on the play, and here's Caleb Duncan. Caleb, he played so much as a freshman. We think of him as an older player, but he's just a sophomore out there.
I keep it even in, whether I was listening or watching it, and I'm waiting on Caleb for us to be able to see that power that we know that he has.
Brother Tanner was there at Portageville, and I know one of his biggest fans. Here's a strike on the outside corner to Caleb Duncan. Those guys are so close, and it was really neat to see Tanner on the same team with Caleb last year, and I know he really helped him with Caleb having to be a starting freshman catcher on a SEMO Conference team. They picked the runner off at first. In the rundown, the throw goes down to second, and safe. The slide under the tag was Hayden Gilmore. The left-hander, Alt, picked off Gilmore, and he just took off to second. Pruitt's throw, and the tag was not in time. As sliding under the tag was Gilmore.
Pretty fortunate on that one.
Yeah, very fortunate. I thought we were going to do the first and third score from third on that one.
I peeked to see if Trey was moving, and he wasn't, so.
Caleb pops this one up down the left field side. Everybody runs over toward the fence, and it's out of play. I have to guess at that one. I can't see it from our window here at Indian Park, but I am not complaining. Some of the places we broadcast from, this is a luxury box compared to some of them. 0-2, the count to Caleb Duncan. Rush Alt with the pitch, and Caleb fouls it and stays alive down the third baseline. Trey Gardner down at third base. Hayden Gilmore at second. 2 runs for Kennett here in the bottom of the first inning. Alt up to 27 pitches already with 1 out here in the inning.
Come on, Caleb, be a tough out here.
Big gap in right center field. Caleb takes it that way. The 0-2 pitch to Duncan. He tries to check his swing and goes around, and that's out number 2 in the inning. Tried to check his swing, just couldn't hold up. Now Evan Parker will hit. Senior Evan Parker. Kennett trying to get some production out of this DH spot, and Evan can do it if he gets a hold of one. Pitch outside, ball 1 to Parker. Matt Gardner in the on-deck circle for Kennett. 2-0 Kennett, bottom of the first, 2 down, but a couple of runners in scoring position. The 1-0 pitch to Parker. Evan hits it high out to left field, left fielder back, and right in front of the track will make the catch. Poindexter went back as Parker gave it a ride, but that's out number 3. Kennett strands 2, but they score 2 and lead 2-0 as we go to the second right after this.
Delicious deals for delicious meals at McDonald's. Get exclusive deals on your McDonald's favorites in the McDonald's app with contactless mobile order and convenient drive-through pickup. Get a free large fries when you download the McDonald's app and join My McDonald's Rewards. Download it today. Your local Kennett McDonald's has been serving the Kennett community for over 30 years and is proud to support area youth.
All your friends at the local McDonald's wish the Kennett Indians a safe and successful season. Go Indians!
Locally owned Kennett Trust Bank understands the importance of great service, great rates, and putting the focus on you. Hi, this is John Patton with Kennett Trust Bank, inviting you to stop by at our new location, 917 First Street in Kennett. We offer full banking services like checking, savings accounts, plus home, auto, commercial, and agricultural loans. Stop by our new location, 917 First Street today, or online at KennettTrustBank.com. Kennett Trust Bank is proud to support the Kennett Indians. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
T.R. Baker Insurance, one of our great broadcast sponsors. Go see them. They're an independent insurance agency. They offer a variety of insurance coverages, both personal and commercial lines of insurance. Give them a call at 888-8208 on Independence Avenue in Kennett. Trey Gardner finishes his warm-up tosses. Get this, folks. He gave up a hit in the first inning, but only threw 6 pitches. So his pitch count's super low. And it'll be 5, 6, and 7 due up for Sikeston. Crow, Pruitt, and Levitt. Carter Crow, the second baseman, right-handed hitter. Kennett leads 2-0 as we start this second inning. Gardner's first pitch, a little bit high, ball 1.
That stat line kind of reminded me of that minor league game. The team threw the no-hitter and lost 7-5.
We've seen some games that could have been that way this year.
It's happened before.
The 1-0 pitch. Here's a strike at the knees. Just early on, we can tell the home plate umpire he is more likely to give that low strike than a high strike. That's something the hitters pick up on, and also the pitchers will start to be aware of. Seen several strikes down around the knees so far. This one a little bit too low. 2-1 to Carter Crow. Kennett infield back for Crow. Outfield straight away. Not a lot of wind here at Indian Park. 80 degrees at game time this afternoon. The 2-1 pitch. Here's a strike at the knees, and the count 2-2. Greene County Tech will be here at Indian Park tomorrow. 4:30 scheduled start for a baseball game. A little bit low, ball 3. Home plate umpire flinched a little bit that time, but didn't raise the right hand. The count goes full to Carter Crow, leading off the top of the second inning for Sikeston. Three-two pitch, grounded foul. Count remains 3-2. Two runs and 2 hits in that first inning for the Kennett Indians. Sikeston with a hit in the top half of the first, but the runner stranded at second base. Now 3-2, the count on Carter Crow, leading off the top of the second. The pitch, curveball, and he just gets a piece of it. Stays alive. 3-2 the count. Tad Jones, our video coordinator, setting up our broadcast, and he also handles our KCRV broadcast. A busy guy this time of year.
Man of many skills.
Foul ball, and the count remains 3-2. I guess since we were just notified, we can also say that Tad has won 2 statewide awards for video production that will be at the Missouri Broadcasters Association. It's Congratulations to Tad Jones for all of his hard work. That'll be coming up in June. We'll find out exactly what happened. Swing and a miss. Throw goes down to first, and the first out of the inning. As Crow strikes out, and that brings in Noah Pruitt, the first baseman.
You know, Trey's just continues to go out there and have, good outings, off to a good one right here. And I know that's been a strong point for this team so far this year.
Hard hit ball is going to be a little base hit in the left field, just to the right of Matt Gardner. As Pruitt hit it hard, Gilmore gets it in quickly, and a 1-out single to left for Sikeston.
This just sets it up for one of your famous phrases here, Perry.
Here we go. Good time for a double play.
Here we go.
Center fielder Jacob Levitt, who really made a nice play on Tanner Pierce. Hard hit ball to center field. So we know Levitt has pretty good speed. Left-handed hitter at the plate. Pruitt, the base runner at first, and a throw to first, and Pruitt slides back in there safely. Duncan Sheet Metal, another one of our great sponsors. 601 South Bypass in Kennett. This warm weather, you're going to know if that air conditioner is up to the task very quickly. This pitch outside, runner didn't go, ball 1 to Levitt. Pruitt broke off first, then went back to first. Be sure to give Duncan Sheet Metal a call. They can service your old AC unit. Make sure it's ready to go before the hot weather really hits you hard, or replace it with a new energy-efficient unit. This pitch with a runner going, swing and a miss, and Caleb can't make the throw down. Levitt kind of stepped out in front of the plate.
Yeah,
Caleb was over in the other batter's box and couldn't make the exchange, so a stolen base, and the count 1-1 on Jacob Levitt.
You know, we had that situation similar to that at Portageville on Monday, and if you kind of stay through that right there, you'll get that hitter's interference.
That time, I think the pitch was so far outside, Caleb was kind of going in that right-handed batter's box, so it
looked like they were trying to kind of do a hit and run because the pitch wasn't just a great one and a swing and miss.
This one hammered out to right field. This is going to be trouble, and Sikeston's going to get their first run of the ball game. As it rolls out to the fence, Ashton Williams will get it in after a double by Jacob Levitt, makes it a 2-1 ball game. Couple of hits in the inning, and now a run scored on a deep fly ball to right center field. Pruitt scores from second. Levitt will take his place down at second. Here's Connor Wallace, the shortstop. I mentioned one of the big challenges for Sikeston this year has been they've been giving up a lot of runs, allowing almost 12 runs a game.
Ooh.
Here, Sikeston has the tying run down at second here in the top of the second. A bunt right out in front of the plate and foul ground. Caleb Duncan will grab it for strike one. I would say Wallace was probably trying to bunt for a hit. Normally you don't, with a runner at second. You're not going to try to give up the second out to get the runner down to third.
That, unless you're just really, really trying to manufacture some offense. But, yeah, that's kind of a non-typical baseball play there.
Now the 0-1 pitch. Curveball and a swing and a miss. And it's 0-2. Now, if Wallace could have pushed that down the first baseline and beat it out, it would have been first and third with one out, and a totally different story there.
Yeah.
So, and that looked like the direction he was trying to put that bunt down. The 0-2 pitch from Gardner to Wallace with a runner at second and one down. A little bit low, ball one. 1-2 the count. Poindexter, the left fielder in the on-deck circle for the Sikeston Bulldogs. Kennett outfield straight away. 2-1. Indians with a lead. Sikeston threatening here in the top of the second. Gardner with a pitch and a swing and a miss. That's
good
out
sequence
number
there
2
from Trey. Good job on going after him. And
Heath Poindexter, the left fielder, right-handed hitter, comes to the plate. Tying run is Levitt down at second base after an RBI double. Infield back, outfield straight away. Time is called. Poindexter asks for time, granted by the home plate umpire. Gardner with the first pitch, low and in the dirt, blocked by Duncan, but the runner will reach safely. Levitt down at third, got a good jump once that ball was in the dirt. And now the tying run down at third base for Sikeston, 2 down and a 1-0 count to Heath Poindexter. Gardner's pitch count 18 in this inning, just 24 in the ball game total. Giving up a run on 2 hits here in the second. Fouled off of the plate. 1-1 the count now to Poindexter.
got to do a good job of trying to keep this guy on third from scoring, and then you only give up a run in the inning, and you.
The 1-1 pitch. Poindexter swings and misses. 1-2 the count to Heath. Trey Gardner, senior right-handed pitcher, comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball to short. Matt Gardner on a high hop throws across the diamond in time. So a run in for Sikeston. They cut the Kennett lead in half, 2-1. Indians bat bottom half of the second right after this.
Hey, this is Daryl Wilcoxon with Wilcoxon's Home Place on the South Bypass in Kennett, Missouri. We're getting new products in every week and would like to help you make your place a show place. Living room suits, recliners, including lift chairs, bedroom suits, mattress sets with adjustable bases, appliances, and TVs. We have several payment options available. Come see us at Wilcoxon's Home Place Furniture and Appliance, 901 South Bypass in Kennett, Missouri. A family furniture tradition for over 70 years.
Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whenever you want. In your life and on your farm, Case IH AFS Connect gives you more control. Monitor your operation, manage your fleet and your farm data your way. Case IH. Rethink productivity.
Thanks to Baker Implement, another one of our great broadcast sponsors. Alt takes his warm-up tosses. Matt Gardner, Ashton Williams, and Tanner Pierce will bat. Bottom of the second, Kennett leading 2-1. Zenith State Bank, another one of our great broadcast sponsors with locations in Kennett, Arbird, and Zenith. Bank online, in person, anytime, serving the area since 1935. Today, Zenith State Bank continues the tradition of serving Zenith, Arbird, and Kennett and the surrounding communities by building relationships with their customers and keeping banking simple. Zenith State Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Matt Gardner will start things off for the Indians. Rush Alt with 30 pitches in his first inning of work. Sikeston now with 3 hits in the ball game and a run scored. Kennett with 2 hits and 2 runs in their first inning. At the plate, Matt Gardner, the right-hander, facing the lefty, Rush Alt. Rush starts him off with a pitch just outside and low, ball 1.
Would be good day for Matt to get going again.
The 1-0 pitch to Matt. Inside, ball 2. 2-0 the count. Matt takes this one high and outside, ball 3. So 3 out of the strike zone from Alt. And Matt Gardner ahead in the count, 3-0, leading off the bottom of the second for Kennett. Alt's pitch outside, ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk. Matt Gardner at first base, and here's Ashton Williams. Ashton hitting .297, just a base hit away from being over 300 on the season. Has 11 hits and a couple of doubles, leads the team with doubles with 2.
I'll take another one.
Dangerous hitter in the 9th hole, and he smashes this one to left field. Is it fair? Is it foul? And it's foul. Oh, my goodness. Ashton just out in front of that one.
Oh, and the left fielder just picked it up at the base of the fence. I mean, not even 6 inches foul right there. I know Coach New was disappointed. I saw his reaction. I think he turned his head whenever he saw the ball started hooking. He was already sending Matt home.
So Alt gets a long, loud foul on strike 1 to Williams, a throw to first, and Matt Gardner back safely. We saw Alt earlier. He picked Hayden Gilmore off at first, but Hayden, instead of going back to the bag, just took off to second and slid in safely.
You know, his pickoff move, if you're not watching, he's kind of got a little bit of a pause there at the top with his leg kick.
A strike, a curveball on the outside corner, and the count 0-2 to Ashton Williams.
And he's kind of varying those times up and disrupting those, giving the base runners some more stuff to think about.
The 0-2 pitch with Matt Gardner at first, and Ashton fouls it out of play and stays alive. Again, Alt with the 0-2 pitch. Ashton hits it out to right field. Heckmeyer looks up into the sun, makes the catch, and back to first base will be Matt Gardner. One down, bottom of the second for Kennett. Back to the top of the order, and Tanner Pierce comes to the plate. Tanner scorched one to center field. A nice play by Levitt in center field, going back to catch that one. Kennett's first round through the batting order. Leadoff hitter. And they pick the runner off at first. The throw down to second this time, and then a rundown is Matt Gardner. They'll throw it back to first, and the tag is made. Well, Alt has picked a couple off first. That time they played it a little better, and there's two down. Nobody on for Tanner Pierce now.
And again, I mean, he has a very deceptive move, and it's kind of getting guys hung up over there, and so I'm sure they're going to be told to shorten that lead.
Pierce takes a slider inside, ball one. 341 was Tanner's average coming in to the ball game. Leads the hits category for Kennett as well. Swing and miss. Off-speed delivery. 1-1 the count to Tanner Pierce. Alt with the pitch to Tanner. Oh, they're going to say it was low. He raised his arm up like it was going to be a strike and then said, nope, it was low.
Yeah, he started it, didn't he?
So 2-1 the count to Pierce. Foul back to the screen. 2-2 now to Tanner. 2 outs, nobody on for Kennett. Matt Gardner started the inning off with a walk, but Alt, with that good move, picked him off first. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tanner Pierce at the plate. Alt's pitch. Outside is ball 3. 3-2. J.C. Poole in the on-deck circle for Kennett. 2-1. Indians with the lead over the Bulldogs. The 3-2 pitch to Pierce. Line drive to center field again. This time Levitt will be in his tracks and make the catch. 2 hard hit balls to center for Pierce. But Levitt up to the task both times. Kennett comes up empty in the second. We'll go to the third. Sikeston bats, trailing Kennett 2-1.
Good luck to all area teams from Danny Glass, your Pemiscot-Dunklin Electric Co-op Director for District 1. Danny Glass knows that participating in high school sports plays a huge role in developing the leaders of tomorrow. That's why Danny Glass is glad to help boost high school sports in this area as a sports booster. Again, good luck to all area high school teams from Danny Glass, your Pemiscot-Dunklin Electric Co-op Director for District 1.
There's always something happening at the Kennett Country Club. Go see Larry Boone and John Salmons as the Pro Shop is stocked with great new merchandise. Get your team signed up for the 3-man scramble on May 6th and 7th. And new this year, on Friday, May 5th, Joe Brooks will be at the Pro Shop to do custom club fittings between 10 and 4. And then they will have the big shootout out on the golf course. Appointments are suggested for the club fitting. Call 888-9945 to reserve your time today. It's all happening at the Kennett Country Club.
Trey Gardner takes his warm-up tosses as he will start his third inning of work. Top of the order coming up for Sikeston. Luke Gadberry will lead things off, followed by Heckmeyer and Sullivan. Taylor, if anyone can reach, for Sikeston. Trey Gardner, 27 pitches through 2 innings of work. A very quick first inning, and then the Bulldogs a run on a couple of hits in that second inning. Gadberry takes strike 1.
Good pitch, Trey.
Trey Gardner. Gadberry grounded out to J.C. Poole. His first at bat, as pretty much everybody in the top of that Sikeston order did. Pitch low and outside. 1-1 to Gadberry. The 1-1 is low and outside. 2-1 the count to Luke Gadberry. Kennett outfield straight away. Tanner Pierce about even with the bag and off the line at third for this leadoff hitter. Pitch is outside, ball 3. 3-1 the count to Gadberry. Sikeston with only one win so far this season, and you don't want to give them a lot of momentum going late into the ball game. You'd like to keep them right where they are and put them away early. Here's a pop-up over toward the first base dugout. Tough play over there, and it's going to land in foul territory. Owen Williams was going over, as well as the pitcher, Trey Gardner and Caleb Duncan. It falls right between all three of them, about where they walk out of the dugout.
And there's probably just enough wind to keep that one in the park. It was kind of hooking out. And
it wasn't real high either.
No.
So all three players gave an attempt but couldn't get there. Now the 3-2 pitch. High and tight, and that's ball 4. And Gadberry lucky to take the walk instead of taking it off the chin. Leadoff man on base is Gadberry, and Joseph Heckmeyer had the first hit of the ball game, a single on a ground ball to right field, right between J.C. Poole and Owen Williams. Throw to first, and the runner, Gadberry, back in there safely. Here's a good opportunity for that double play ball. I'll keep saying it, and maybe we'll get us one here before long. This pitch is popped up on the infield, right behind the pitcher's mound, and Matt Gardner will take control of this one for out number 1. That's what you like to see from an infield. Matt immediately said, I got it, and everybody gets out of the way, and Matt did take care of it.
Your fly ball communication was great right there. There was no doubt who was going to do that there. I mean, I don't even think the other guys took a few steps because they knew he had called it with such authority.
Trey Sullivan, left-handed hitter, bats with 1 down. Gadberry at first here in the 3rd inning. The runner goes, pitch goes down to second, and by Matt Gardner into center field, backed up by Brooks Niggett, but a stolen base puts Gadberry down at second base.
They have been very aggressive early in the game.
So a runner at second. Trey Sullivan at the plate. I believe that last pitch was a strike. The scoreboard not working here at Indian Park this afternoon. I was looking at the runner off on the pitch. This one's fouled at the plate, and I'm going to say it's 0-2.
I can't say this with 100% certainty, but they've been more aggressive with running at first with a left-handed batter up. You know, that kind of blind. It gives that little bit of an edge for the catcher. He can't see it. It's a little bit trickier coming out of the so it'd be interesting to see if that happens more with a righty, or if they just like to run with a left-handed batter.
0-2. Sullivan takes it outside. 1-2. Umpire hasn't put up. There's the 1-2. There it is. 1-2. Sikeston has been aggressive on the base pass so far here in the ball game. Now time is called as Sullivan asked for time, and it's granted. 1 down, the tying run at second base for Sikeston. The 1-2 hit out of play down the left field line. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. I know Tad Jones had mentioned this at Portageville, but Kennett was very aggressive early in the season on the base pass, and it seems like they have backed off of that some. We didn't see them run against Portageville, and really in the last few games we haven't seen the Indians in motion, and so far in this one, this ball fouled out of play.
You know, and I think some of that just comes with there's a lot of things that I think could play into that. You know, some of it could be, you know, when you look at haven't been scoring as many runs, so when you do get a base runner on, you want to be a little bit more careful with, you know, with guys on the bases. That could be, you know, pitchers doing a great job of holding runners. There's a lot of variables. I think it's a great point to note, but I think some of it could, early in the season, scoring a lot of runs, so it's easier to be more aggressive because you've got some cushion.
1-2, the count to Sullivan. Base runner at second after Gadberry's base hit. Here's a ground ball to second. High hop, bad hop to J.C. Poole, and everyone's going to be safe. The runner's rounding third and will score on the play, and we're tied up. That ball took a terrible hop to J.C. Poole, and I would probably have to rule that a base hit, wouldn't you, with the hop, or is it going to be an error?
I think that one's going to have to be an error. I know that's kind of a tough hop right there, but
Gadberry never held up, scored all the way from second. We're tied at 2. JC has made a ton of plays. There's a lot of footprints out there in front of where JC is playing.
I think because that plays, we've watched him make that one so many times. It was a tough hop, and unfortunately that happens.
Here's a strike call to Dayton Taylor, the cleanup hitter. Runner at first, one down here in the third, and we're tied at 2. Kennett's going to need to get some offense going. Throw to first, and the runner back in there safely. Sikeston has been doing some running in this ball game.
Again, another left-handed batter, so this will be interesting to see the aggressiveness. If it,
Do they call that pickoff throw from the dugout? Do they tell the pitchers to throw most of the time? Fouled out of play.
I don't know what they're doing now. I mean, I've saw teams that do that. I know some of it's on the pitcher. Some pitchers are more comfortable with that, so they do a better job on their own.
0-2, actually, to Taylor. So he's in the hole, 0-2. Sullivan, the base runner at first with one down. Check swing, and it remains 0-2. Skeeter Kill Sporting Goods, one of our great sponsors. Not just a name, they're a tradition for over 60 years. The premier sports supplier to area schools, coaches, and players with cleats, bats, gloves for any team. See them at 1300 Industrial Drive in Kennett or 888-6678. The 0-2 again to Taylor. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Good pitch that time from Trey Gardner. 2 down, runner at first, and here is Carter Crow.
Boy, I'd like to have that foul ball back about right now, but
Crow struck out his first plate appearance. Sullivan, a short lead at first. First pitch is outside, ball 1 to Crow. I know the Kennett offense, in this recent losing streak, snapping out of that against a good Portageville team, but confidence is a big part of hitting. A throw to first, pretty close play over there. But
kind of hesitation there.
When the team starts to hit and they start scoring runs, it seems like it's contagious.
It is. I was glad you brought that up. I was just thinking about that, is how, everything kind of goes better. When everything's going good, everything is just.
Runner goes, and there's a ground ball to second. JC has to recover as he was covering the bag, and the throw gets by the first baseman. So the runners will move up to second, and nope, the runners stay at first, so it'll be first and third. A ground ball, and a miscue again by the Indians here. Sullivan moves up to third on the last play. And now Pruitt will bat. Pruitt with a hit, his first at bat, as he singled on a ground ball to left. The go-ahead run down at third base now with 2 outs here in the third inning.
Sikeston just kind of manufacturing some runs, just hit and run right there.
J.C. Poole was covering the bag, then tried to get back over in the hole, back toward first. Got to the ball and had to rush it over. Faked to third and looked to first. No throw. Everybody back safely. 2 down, 2 on for Sikeston in a 2-2 ball game here in the top of the third. Swing and a miss. 0-1 to Pruitt. Our schedule is the SEMO Conference matchup against Sikeston here at Indian Park today. Greene County Tech coming up from the Paragould area tomorrow. Then we go to Dexter for a 10 o'clock ball game on Saturday. 3 more games this week, including this one. Ground ball foul outside of first. And a count 0-2 to Noah Pruitt. Trey Gardner would love the strikeout here, and he'll go grab a bat. He'll be third to bat for the Indians in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Kennett hit the ball hard in that 1st inning, not so much in the 2nd inning. Tanner Pierce hit a hard line drive. Runner breaks quickly from first, and we've seen Kennett do that a million times, but no throw down, and Crow will move up to second.
Yeah, Trey did a good job there of keeping his composure, not issuing a balk and stepping off, and a lot of times that's what they're trying to do there.
Now the 0-2, fouled back to the screen. The count remains 0-2. You know, with the batter Pruitt behind in the count 0-2, runners at first and third, that play just makes sense. Just try to manufacture a run there. If
try
the team
not steal one right there.
Plus, if they don't throw it down, you got a couple of runners in scoring position and takes the force out away.
You hit a rock on the infield or something, and the ball skates through. And
here's a ground ball to first, and Williams will step on the bag. Owen backed up on that one and made the play. A couple of runners stranded, but 1 run in, and we're tied at 2. Kennett bats in the bottom of the 3rd when we return right after this.
At Harris Pharmacy, you can get all of your prescriptions in one stop, and we'll even remind you when it's time to get a refill with our MedSync and Refill Reminder programs. Hi, this is Darren with Harris Pharmacy. Stop by today at 1224 1st Street in Kennett for your over-the-counter and prescription needs. You can come through the drive-thru, or we deliver for free inside the city limits of Kennett. We also offer flu, shingles, and pneumonia vaccines. Come see us today at Harris Pharmacy in Kennett. Good luck, Indians.
When your loved one is on the brink, their future in the hands of strangers, and all you have is hope, choose the safest hospital in Eastern Arkansas. Your safety isn't a goal, it's a promise.
We are back at Indian Park in a 2-2 ball game. Back on the hill, Rush Alt, 44 pitches through 2 innings of work, and it'll be J.C. Poole, Brooks Niggett, and Trey Gardner. Hayden Gilmore, if anyone can reach, and the Indians looking for some offense in this one. So far in the ball game, Sikeston has out-hit the Kennett Indians 3-2. Kennett's committed a couple of errors, and we're tied at 2. J.C. Poole, his first plate appearance, drew a walk. So he will face the left-hander Rush Alt. 4:30 our scheduled start time against Greene County Tech tomorrow afternoon here at Indian Park. And J.C. takes it inside, ball 1. Outfield playing J.C. around the pool a bit. Infield back, except for third. Sullivan about even with the back. J.C. slaps it back up the middle. Crow to his right will field in a low throw, and J.C. reaches safely. Crow's throw, short hop, Pruitt at first.
There we go. Get one to go our way, so that's not.
That's going to be a ground ball. How are you going to rule that one, Coach? Error?
Yes.
I'm always for the batters. I'm sorry. Crow had it and had time to get it there. Just short hop Pruitt at first. J.C., though, hustling all the way, is at first base. Now Brooks Niggett, 1 for 1 on the day with a double to right field, scoring the first run of the ball game for the Indians. He takes a curveball a little bit high, ball 1. Both guys in the booth disagreeing with my scoring, so I go with the error. Sorry, J.C.
We should need to keep J.C. on base over there.
Yeah, but he's on base. That's the important thing. As he takes his lead, and here's that pickoff move.
There we go.
J.C. back in there standing up this time. I know Coach New and Coach Lou Allen. Coach Lou Allen's a little more attentive over there, yelling at those guys, and got to watch that high leg kick with Alt. This time the pitch to the plate is outside ball 2. Sometimes just having a base runner and you got that left-hander out there that's concentrating more on the runner instead of maybe the batter and start having control problems or throw one in a spot you shouldn't to Brooks Niggett. The 2-0 pitch to Brooks. Outside is ball 3. 3-0.
It just kind of, again, we worked together so long. One thing I was noticing on his pickoff move, it's hard to tell if he's got that, how he's stepping and stuff, and I just peeked at Coach Allen, and he's adjusted his there we go.
The strike makes it 3-1.
He's adjusted his positioning to be able to see that leg angle a little bit better to help those base runners get back.
He has moved out a little deeper in the outfield area.
Just a little bit past the cut on the dirt.
Now the 3-1 pitch. Now throw to first. And JC not fooled, back in there safely.
And I'll give this, pitcher credit. He has got he's got more than one move. He's not just using the same one over and over again. And he's varying his times. He's doing a good job.
The 3-1 pitch. JC at first. Outside. A couple of runners on for Kennett. Nobody out here in the third. Cleanup hitter Trey Gardner will hit. Trey drew a walk, his first plate appearance. Left-handed hitter Trey Gardner. Throws right, hits left, facing the left-hander Rush Alt. Kennett looking for that big inning, and now the Sikeston outfield. Playing over toward the right side for the left-handed slugger, Trey Gardner. First pitch headed home. Trey checks his swing, called strike on the outside corner. Not the one Trey wanted that time.
Good take.
Runner at first, Brooks Niggett. Runner at second is J.C. Poole, and the 0-1 pitch to Trey Gardner. Trey hits it high and deep to right field. Center fielder going back will reach up, and it lands at the base of the fence. J.C. Poole will now take off. Brooks Niggett follows him. J.C. will head home on the play, and Brooks will stop at third on a double by Trey Gardner at the base of the fence, just right of the 350 mark in right center field.
That's there for a while. I thought he was going to have a single off the wall there because just how the runners had to hold up for the to make sure they didn't get doubled off. But good thing there's some wheels on the base path ahead of him that allowed him to advance.
That was one of those cases where J.C. Poole was even tagging up so he could go to third, and he would have been there with one out. But as soon as the ball dropped, it went off the base of the fence and back toward the infield, and that allowed the run to score. Runners now at second and third. Kennett leading 3-2. Hayden Gilmore 1 for 1 on the day. Strokes the first one slowly past the pitcher. A tough play. Shortstop will field, and the throw to first is in the dirt. One run will score. Another run will score. And Hayden Gilmore will go down to second base. Putting it in play, that's what it's all about.
And I will say that is a single.
There's the infield single. Wallace came on. His throw was low. Gardner came in also to score on the last play. And Gilmore goes down to second. (5-2) Kennett. That was something that was needed by the Indians as we play here in the third. Nobody out and a runner at second for Caleb Duncan. Caleb takes it low, ball 1.
Yeah, that's a stringing hits together is never a bad thing in the game of baseball.
Once Gilmore got it by the pitcher, Alt, it was a tough play for Wallace. That shortstop coming in. Strike evens the count 1-1 to Caleb Duncan.
Hayden moves well, too.
Yeah, he does. I think we underestimate his speed. He does run well.
And he's from the left side, so, I mean, there's a lot of advantages there for him.
The 1-1 to Caleb Duncan from Rush Alt, the lefty for Sikeston. Swing and a miss, 1-2 the count to Duncan. Evan Parker in the on-deck circle. Nobody down. Kennett with 3 runs so far here in the third. Runner in scoring position down at second base. Caleb Duncan with a 1-2 count at the plate. Time is called as Alt Took a while to deliver that ball, and Caleb asked for time, and it's granted. 1-2 the count to Duncan. Caleb fouls it off of the plate and stays alive. You know, we talked about it, and we've seen it this inning. Sikeston, we saw it in the top half of the inning, but just putting the ball in play, it's not always about hitting it hard, but if you strike out, you really don't have much chance. You put it in play and make the other team make a play, and sometimes those balls will find gaps, and sometimes you'll stroke one hard somewhere.
I've
the 1-2 to Caleb, and he fouls it off again at the plate. 1-2 to count.
Caleb's doing a good job of being a tough out up here at the plate, but I've said it a million times. I feel like it, and anybody I talk to, especially in high school baseball, put it in play. I mean, if it's weakly hit, hard hit, however it is, make the defense have to do something. You know, and then it gets more and more. That's not as true the higher you go, but for high school baseball and even anything lower, put it in play.
Caleb puts this one in play, hits it high to center field. Coming on his Levitt will make the catch, the tag, the throw going to third, and not in time is hustling to third, tagging up Hayden Gilmore.
You know, and that's a good at bat there by Caleb. You know, and I just saw Coach New tell him that too. But it's you know, you get down 0-2 early in the count right there, get behind, and then you just keep battling and battling and battling. Hit a long fly ball and advance a guy here. Now, you know, a wild pitch and we can score and add another run. So good job, Caleb.
Evan Parker at the plate, looking for his first hit of the ball game and driving a run in, and he hits this one in the air on the infield. A tough play for the catcher right in front of the mound. It goes off the catcher's mitt, and Evans going to be safe. Boy, that was tough. It was about 5 steps in front of the plate. First base, third base, pitcher, and the catcher, Gadberry, tried to make the play, and he probably had the toughest play of all.
I'm not sure that's how Evan drew up how he wanted to get on first base, but I think he will definitely take it.
Gilmore stays at third as he couldn't advance. And Matt Gardner will hit. And a runner coming in for the Indians.
Jackson Patterson, I think.
Jackson Patterson will do the running for Evan Parker. Down at first base. 1 out here in the third. Kennett leading with 3 runs in the third, 5-2. Matt Gardner's going to try to increase that lead here as he steps in at the plate. First pitch to Matt. He strokes it to left field. This ball is crushed, and it's over Poindexter's head and will bounce over the fence for a ground rule double. I was just remembering Matt's hit against Valley View that got out of here, and that ball was crushed. He hit that one on a line, and it one-hopped the fence for a ground rule double and a run scored.
Again, off the bat, I thought that one had that chance, but that ball, you're right, that ball was tattooed.
Ashton Williams will now hit. Kennett leading 6-2. Couple of runners in scoring position. As Matt Gardner down at second after the RBI double. Ashton, I'd like to see him get a hold of one here. Pitch is low and away, ball 1.
Good job, Matt. That ball was crushed.
That's what Matt needs, a little bit more confidence at the plate, and that'll come with hits like that. Ashton bounces it foul outside at third. 1-1 the count to Williams. Tanner Pierce in the on-deck circle, barring a line drive double play here. Some strange play where Kennett gets 2 outs with Williams at the plate. Runners at second and third, and Ashton hits it slowly down the third baseline. Foul. Patterson was coming down the line on that one.
You know, I saw it happen before where, you know, guys kind of having a little bit of a slump there, and then they, you know, just find some way to get on base, and that's kind of the jump start that gets them rolling there. So I hope that's kind of what we get.
The 1-2 is way outside. 2-2. Tanner Pierce in the on-deck circle. He's 0 for 2 on the day, but he has hit the ball very hard. His first 2 plate appearances to center field. Retired both times by Levitt. Now the 2-2 pitch to Ashton Williams. curveball a little bit high is ball 3. 3-2 the count to Williams.
Come on, Ashton. Drive a couple in here.
One down, runners at second and third. 3-2, the pitch to Ashton Williams. Curveball is popped up back toward the backstop. Catcher will give it a look and gets out of play. Rush Alt, 24 pitches in this inning. This will be number 69 in the ball game, with one out here in the third to Ashton Williams, and Ashton hits it in the air. Shallow center field. Shortstop Wallace will go back and make the catch for out number 2. Runners stay put. Pop fly, and Wallace handles it for out number 2.
Thought that might have, if that ball goes just a little bit farther, I think we might have a tag-up situation right there. But
you know, we remember the errors by Kennett in the ball game, and that pop fly that really hurt Sikeston in this inning. That was a big error, and then Kennett putting it in play, and it's turned into a 4-run inning so far, and swing and a miss at a curveball from Tanner Pierce with a couple of runners in scoring position. 8-2, I know, for the Kennett Indians would seem a lot better than 6-2, but they'll take the 4-run third. But always looking for more. J.C. Poole in the on-deck circle if Tanner can reach. Rush Alt with the pitch to Pierce. Tanner hits it hard to the third baseman. Throw across the diamond is low, and this time a good scoop by Pruitt. Saves a run as he'll scoop it at first. That'll do it for the Indians. 4 runs across. They lead 6-2 as we go to the fourth. Sikeston bats when we return right after this.
At American Elite Realty, your business is appreciated. They are locally owned and support the communities you live in. Their professional agents can help you find your new home or commercial property. They work closely with your lender to make the buying process easy. Contact a professional agent at 573-888-5373 or view their listings at AmericanEliteRealty.com. Tina Privet, broker, an equal housing opportunity company.
American Elite Realty is proud to support the Kennett Indians and wishes them a successful season.
Hi, I'm Dr. Wayne. I'd like to invite you to Wayne Chiropractic. Come on in.
Hi, I'm Melissa Morgan. When you're ready to schedule an appointment, just call Wayne Chiropractic.
Soy Gabriela García. Síganme y el Dr. Wayne los ayudará a estar mejor.
Wayne Chiropractic offers DOT, sports, school, and pre-employment physicals and now accepts Medicaid. Learn more at KenmoChiro.com or stop by Wayne Chiropractic at 913 St. Francis Street in Kennett. KenmoChiro.com.
Lance Penn on the PA system here in the booth. I expect to see Matt Carpenter walking up to the plate with that song playing. 6-2 or score. Kennett with a lead as we go to the fourth inning. Levitt, Wallace, and Poindexter, 7, 8, and 9. Coming up for the Bulldogs to face Trey Gardner. Trey with 50 pitches through 3 innings.
Speaking of the Cardinals, I did see that they won today. That is.
Oh, okay. Well, they were just getting started when I got to the ballpark and was tied 1-1 after a big home run by
Nolan Gorman.
Here's Levitt, 1 for 1 on the day, and he shows bunt and pushes it down the third baseline, foul. Tanner Pierce was back a bit at third base, but the foul ball will be strike 1. Now Tanner will move in a little bit closer. We mentioned Levitt, the left-handed hitter. He doubled on a fly ball to right field. Ball he hit really hard. So he doubles to right, and then he tries to reach on a little push bunt down toward third. The 0-1 pitch to Jacob, talented center fielder for the Bulldogs, takes ball 1 low. Wallace, the shortstop, in the on-deck circle. Now Tanner Pierce with his toes on the grass at third base. The 1-1 fouled out of play. 1-2 the count to Levitt. I saw the Jackson Indians got swept by Nixa and ruled in one of their games against Nixa. Kennett with an opportunity to maybe beat Nixa, but mishandled a couple of pop-ups, and we've seen that already today. 2-2 the count. That's a part of the game, but couldn't get the timely hits. And
that is baseball to a T there.
2-2 the count to Levitt and Trey Gardner. This is high, ball 3. Levitt leading off the 4th inning. 6 runs on 5 hits now for Kennett, 2 runs on 3 hits. Kennett's committed a couple of errors in this one. Sikeston's committed 3 so far. The pitch is outside corner, called strike 3.
I'll take it.
I was about to put him at first.
Yeah.
The arm goes up, and that's out number 1. And Connor Wallace, the shortstop, will hit. Little breeze blowing, and I think primarily that breeze is blowing in. It hadn't really, I don't think, affected many balls.
Not
except
much
the high hit
action
ones.
on the flag.
Showing bunt and taking for a strike is Wallace. Good breaking pitch that time from Gardner. 1 out, nobody on, top of the 4th for the Bulldogs. Foul ball to the screen, and it's 0-2 to Connor Wallace. JV game will follow this one here at Indian Park. If you don't have anything to do, come on out. We're just in the top of the 4th inning.
Beautiful day for baseball.
You bet. Here's a ground ball back up the middle, and diving for it, knocking it down is Matt Gardner. Didn't think he'd ever get to it. Didn't have a play, but kept it on the infield, and an infield single by Wallace. He's 1 for 2 on the day, and he's at first with 1 down here in the 4th.
Try this again. It's a great opportunity for a.
I'm going to let you try it this time.
For an Indian
we'll
double
see
play
how
right
it works
here.
out.
Change it up a little bit,
Yeah,
switch it up.
We'll change the batting order here. Heath Poindexter at the plate, and a throw to first. Wallace back in there safely. Heath grounded out to the shortstop, Matt Gardner, his first plate appearance.
You know, I think if we keep playing the odds right, you know, eventually we're going to get it right, you know.
If we say it enough, we'll eventually be right. Showing bunt. Poindexter takes it for ball 1. Wallace, pretty good speed on the base pass. Poindexter with good speed at the plate. At third, Tanner Pierce is, again, with his toes into the grass area here at Indian Park. A line drive up the middle, fielded on the line drive, and they'll toss to first with the runner going. And Owen Williams will now step on the bag, and that completes the double play. You got it.
I got it.
You'll have to keep calling them. Double play ends the inning. We will go to the bottom of the 4th. Kennett bats leading this one 6-2.
What started with our grandfather and continues in its 4th generation today, Glen Sane's history of quality sales, service, and strong personal relationships that have kept our customers and their families coming back for over 69 years.
From my grandpa to my dad to us, service after the sale is a big deal. Whether you're looking to buy a GMC, Chevrolet, Buick, or Ford, we look forward to serving you and your family for years to come.
Agriculture is not a fad, and it's not for the faint of heart. Long days become long nights, sacrificing time away from family, even on weekends, just so you can get the crop in and get the crop out. This is your way of life. At Farm Credit Southeast Missouri, we are 100% bought into your commitment. Because we are customer owned, it is our mission to be your ag lender, and we intend to be your value-added partner for next year and the long term.
Your ag lender will always be there.
Back at Indian Park, we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. J.C. Poole, Brooks Niggett, and Trey Gardner will bat. Hayden Gilmore, if anyone can reach. And a new pitcher coming on for Sikeston. As coming on now to do the pitching will be Noah Pruitt. Pruitt now doing the pitching for the Bulldogs. Right-hander Noah Pruitt. He'll face J.C. Poole to lead things off this inning. We're at Indian Park, and good to have you along today. It's a beautiful day. A lot of the JV players for both teams shagging foul balls out of the area and starting to throw a bit. They'll play in a matchup immediately following this one. 6-2 Kennett. Greene County Tech, the opponent tomorrow here at Indian Park. Another day that we should have beautiful weather, and the Lady Indians will also be in action. So there'll be a big crowd out here tomorrow. Throw goes down to second by the shortstop and into center field. And here comes J.C. Poole. J.C. doing what he does is walked, reached on an error in the ball game. Facing a right-hander this time, Noah Pruitt. Outfield plays J.C. around to Poole. Poole to Poole. J.C. grounds it back to the pitcher. Fielded and underhand to first for the out.
I think that was off his leg.
Looked like it went off his leg, but the ground ball out at first. One pitch, one out for Pruitt, so a good start for Noah. Now Brooks Niggett. Brooks has walked and doubled on a line drive to right center field. This pitch sails over his head, ball one. Wes and Chantel Bentley, a couple of our great broadcast sponsors, as this ball is fouled out of play. Bentley Farms, we appreciate their support of our Kennett Indian broadcast. Poultry Farm up in Dudley, Missouri, the Kennett residents, and they love the Indians, Kennett Indian baseball. High is ball two. 2-1 the count. To Brooks Niggett. Kennett up 6-2 here in the fourth, and Brooks will single again to right field. He's hitting the ball hard. Now it's starting to find some open spots out in the field. He's 2 for 3 on the day, and he's down at first with one out here in the fourth.
You know, I think we talked about that earlier. Brooks had been kind of the victim of hitting the ball really hard and right at a lot of people, some kind of tough luck at the plate, and, you know, it's kind of paying off for him here.
Trey Gardner hits. He is walked and doubled on a long fly ball to right center field. Big hit in the ball game off the bat of Trey Gardner. Runner at first. The pitch to Trey is high. Ball one. Hayden Gilmore in the on-deck circle for Kennett. Trying to increase their lead as we play here in the fourth. The 1-0 pitch to Gardner. Trey fouls it. 1-1 the count.
Good cut there.
Noah Pruitt. Comes set. The pitch with the runner going is fouled out of play. There we see the Indians running with a right-hander on the mound. Maybe a hit and run, and we saw a hit and run executed perfectly at Portageville. So,
and I think, you know, sometimes that you got a lefty with a good move, you got to honor that. And it does, again, that controls a run game. It's one of the many arts to pitching, I think.
The 1-2 pitch to Trey Gardner, a big hole on the right side of the infield. This pitch in the dirt. Brooks will scamper back to first. It's a good stop by Gadberry behind the plate.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's real easy to see a pitcher and judge them on a good pitcher, bad pitcher based on how hard they throw, if they throw strikes. But, you know, sometimes being a good pitcher is being able to hold runners.
Now the 2-2 pitch to Trey Gardner. High is a curveball, and the count goes full, 3-2. See if the Indians might do some running with the 3-2 count, one down here in the fourth. Brooks Niggett takes his lead. Pretty good lead at first base. The 3-2. Called strike three. 2 down in the inning, and that brings in Hayden Gilmore. Hayden 2 for 2 on the day. Infield single and a line drive to right. Facing the right-hander Noah Pruitt. Kennett leads 6-2, bottom of the fourth inning. Runner goes, and a foul ball back to the screen by Gilmore. Strike one. Brooks Niggett will go back to first base.
Tough luck at the plate. No, it's tough luck at first.
Seven to 4, that final score in Colorado. Cardinals over the Rockies, and I think they're headed back home. 7-game homestand coming up.
I think you said it was a home run, which was Gorman's, and Jordan Walker's hit streak is still alive.
All right. Called strike with Brooks Niggett running on the play. Slides under the tag safely. But the count 0-2 on Hayden Gilmore. Hayden might have been swinging to protect the runner that time. A stolen base by Brooks Niggett. He's in scoring position. Now Hayden needs to put it in play like he did his last at bat. The 0-2 pitch to Gilmore. Swing and a miss. Pruitt strikes out Gilmore, and that will end the 4th inning. Kennett strands a runner in scoring position. We go to the 5th. 6-2. Indians lead. Bulldogs coming to bat right after this.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
See State Farm agent Greg Wilson in Kennett. Call 888-4913. Southeast Missouri State University. Your university, your hometown. With personalized support from faculty and staff who care. Prepare for a career that matters from day one, all while earning a degree in your own backyard. Do more than take classes. Take control of your future. Get your 4-year degree at Southeast Missouri State University. Learn more at semo.edu/regional.
Trey Gardner back on the mound as we go to the 5th inning. Kennett leads 6-2. Top of the order for Sikeston coming up. Gadberry, Heckmeyer, and Sullivan. Taylor, the cleanup hitter, and DH if anyone can reach for the Bulldogs. Trey Gardner, 61 pitches through 4 innings. Throw down to second. We're ready for action here in the 5th. Getting late in this one, folks. FM Bank, located at 500 Independence Avenue in Kennett. Online at myfm.bank, a full-service bank where decisions are made locally. Auto, home, commercial, agricultural loans to FM Bank. People matter, an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. Trey Gardner stands on the mound, still works off that stretch with nobody on. The first pitch, a check swing. Trey will field it down the first baseline and flip to Owen Williams for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 5th for Kennett.
Good start.
High inside pitch. Gadberry tried to hold up. It went off his bat, and Trey made a nice play going over toward the first baseline. Now Joseph Heckmeyer 1 for 2 on the day. Joseph popped out to short and singled on a ground ball between second and first. His first plate appearance, and there's strike 1 to Joseph. The 0-1 pitch from Gardner. Line drive right over Trey's head in center field. Heckmeyer now 2 for 3 with a solid single. Luckily, that went over the head of Trey Gardner. A line drive right back up the middle. You want to say it here?
Hey, how about another double play here? I'll take them any way you can get them.
Trey Sullivan, the batter.
Or not.
Left-handed hitting Sullivan. The runner goes on the first pitch to throw to second. The tag just a little bit late from Matt Gardner. And Heckmeyer steals second.
Getting a lot of boos from the crowd, but I think he got it right. It was just a little late.
0-1 the count to Sullivan. I believe that last pitch was a strike, and now time is called by Sullivan. Granted by the home plate umpire.
So now it's going to drive me crazy because that's, again, another still with a left-handed batter up, and the coach and me now is starting to think, what is this? Is this something they do all the time? Is there a tip? What's going on here? Because I think that's 3 stolen bases now with a left-handed batter up. So I'm now my wheels are turning.
A little bit low. Ball 1, I assume. 1-1 the count to Trace Sullivan. When the runner goes, a lot of times I'm not looking at the home plate umpire, looking at the play at second. Here's a called strike. We've seen that a few times today, as a few of the Kennett batters will attest to. So it's went both ways, and 1-2 the count to Trace Sullivan. Gardner trying to get the second out of the inning with a runner at second. Heckmeyer. And a swing and a miss. Took something off of that one, and Trace, no, that's 2-2. Excuse me. So the first pitch was a ball. Don't get too excited yet.
Yeah. Hey, it happens.
I tell you, my scorekeeping is very unofficial, and it really is when it comes to balls and strikes.
I was just thinking, I was teaching somebody how to use Game Changer the other day. Do you think you would ever go back to a pencil paper scorebook?
Sometimes I want to. Ball 3 is outside. 3-2 the count.
Well, there goes my pub and future job for Game Changer.
My oldest son, Ty Jones, said I would never be able to do Game Changer, and you were the one that convinced me to try it, and he said you could do it, and I've done it for several years now. So it's a nice innovation, a walk. And 2 on for Sikeston here in the 5th. I still have my issues occasionally, but for Ty Jones, he was wrong.
Just making sure you were putting that out there, weren't you?
He
so Ty, if you're
challenged me,
listening, he's just wanting to remind you.
Lance Penn told me I could do it, and here I am still doing it. Dayton Taylor, cleanup hitter, 2 on. With 1 down here in the 5th.
Still got a double play opportunity.
I was hoping you'd say that. Here's a high hopper down toward third. Is a tough play. Pierce will field and throw to first. What a play by Tanner Pierce. Boy, he made that nice.
Yep, that was good play all the way around.
You know, and Matt Gardner following the play up, covering third base that's one of the little things you don't notice, but that's doing it right.
Yes, that's good that you pointed that out. You know, a lot of times. And if you were watching, you noticed there's a back pick on that as well, and that would have never happened, and he could have got a big lead had Matt not done that. So good job to you as well, Matt, and great play from Tanner.
Carter Crow at the plate with a couple of runners in scoring position, takes strike 1. A high hopper to third. Tanner Pierce played it perfectly, and
just made it look so easy at times there.
He does. He has really looked good at third. The 0-1. Grounded out towards second. J.C. Poole takes a high hop this time. The throw to first is going to get by the first baseman, and a couple of runs will score on the play. Couple of runs in on the ground ball. J.C. again got a weird hop on the play, but he caught it, but the throw was in the dirt to Owen Williams at first.
I think these odd hops are kind of catching him in between steps, and he's having to rush out of it. Is what it kind of just initially looked like.
So it's a 2-run ball game with a tying run at the plate with Noah Pruitt. Throw to first, and back safely is Crow. Noah singled on a ground ball to left and grounded out to Owen Williams at first base. Trey Gardner trying to get out of this 5th inning. First pitch is low. Good stop there by Duncan. Keeps Crow at first base. One ball, no strikes to count to Noah Pruitt. Noah now the pitcher in the ball game. Can help his own cause. Throw to first. Crow back in there safely. All Goods Towing, another one of our great broadcast sponsors of Kennett Indian Baseball. Give them a call when you need a tow or unlocking services. It's all good at All Goods Towing. This pitch grounded in the hole and into left field for a base hit. The runner will stop at second, so it'll be first and second now. The inning continues as Levitt, the center fielder, will bat. Single into left. Gilmore got it in quickly.
You know, and Trey still continues to throw a really good game. He's just kind of caught some tough breaks behind him. You know, it's
now the go-ahead run at the plate. Left-handed hitting Jacob Levitt. First pitch, called strike on the outside corner. Base runner at second is Crow. Pruitt, after the base hit to left, is down at first base. 6-4, our score. Thank goodness for those 4 runs for the Indians earlier. This pitch outside. The tying runs on the base pass now for Sikeston here in the 5th. I know Kennett will want some more runs in this ball game for certain. Still too close for comfort. Now time is called as Gardner took a little too long on the mound. Levitt asked for time. Now he's back in the box. Trey looks in for the sign. Checks Crow down at second, taking a short lead, and a pitch is hit in the air out to left field. Hayden Gilmore comes in a few steps and makes the catch for out number 3. Sikeston gets a pair of runs. They pull a little closer, 6-4. As we go to the bottom of the 5th, Kennett bats when we return right after this.
At Todd and Atwill LLP in Kennett, your situation matters. They understand that unfortunate circumstances arise and are here to provide the legal services you need with integrity and care. Partnering attorneys Darren Todd and Lee Atwill are committed to providing the best legal representation possible. They specialize in personal injury, criminal defense, social security disability, bankruptcies, and more. Visit toddatwill.com for more information. Todd and Atwill, LLP, proud to support the Kennett Indians.
Delicious deals for delicious meals at McDonald's. Get exclusive deals on your McDonald's favorites in the McDonald's app with contactless mobile order and convenient drive-thru pickup. Get a free large fries when you download the McDonald's app and join My McDonald's Rewards. Download it today. Your local Kennett McDonald's has been serving the Kennett community for over 30 years and is proud to support area youth.
All your friends at the local McDonald's wish the Kennett Indians a safe and successful season. Go Indians!
Back at Indian Park, we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Caleb Duncan, Evan Parker, and Matt Gardner will hit, followed by Ashton Williams, if anyone can reach. And Noah Pruitt doing the pitching now. 14 pitches in his first inning of work, and his Bulldogs have pulled a little closer with a couple of runs in the top half of the 4th. 6-4, Kennett with the lead. See if the Indians can generate a little more offense here. Looking at the scoring of the ball game, Kennett with 2 in the first, 4 in that 3rd inning. Sikeston with 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, then 2 in the 5th. 4 runs, 6 hits for Sikeston, 6 runs, 6 hits for Kennett, and both teams have committed 3 errors. Caleb Duncan will lead things off for Kennett. Caleb 0 for 2 on the afternoon, looking for his first hit. That was a good time for a big hit from Caleb, and he takes strike 1 from Pruitt. Pruitt has looked good after coming into the ball game here. Curveball drops in. It's quickly 0-2 to Caleb Duncan. Infield back, outfield straight away for the Kennett catcher. The 0-2 pitch. Curveball hits him right in the back. Leadoff man on, hit by a pitch, is Caleb Duncan. Caleb, tough as nails. He'll take that one. He'll take it right in that. Number 4 on his back. And trot down to first base. And here's Evan Parker. Evan is 0 for 2 on the day. Flied out to left field on a ball that he hit pretty well. Then a pop-up, mishandled right out in front of the plate. Allowed him to reach his last at bat on an error. And he grounds this one to second. Could be 2. Force out at second. Relayed at first is in time. Double play. 2 down now, and it'll be Matt Gardner coming to the plate. Matt is 1 for 1. He had that big double to left field. It short hopped the fence. And he's walked.
Come on, Matt. Stay hot.
2 outs, nobody on, bottom of the 5th. And Matt takes low, ball 1. Ashton Williams in the on-deck circle for Kennett. Pruitt's next pitch fouled off at the plate. 1-1 the count to Matt Gardner. Noah Pruitt, the tall right-hander. After hitting Caleb Duncan, got a ground ball, double play off the bat of Evan Parker. Now this ball low. 2-1 the count to Matt Gardner. As he bats, 2 outs, nobody on, bottom of the 5th. Matt hits it hard, right back up the middle. There you go, Matt. He's starting to swing the bat like we know that he can. Solid line drive single, right back up the middle. Ashton Williams coming to the plate. Flied out to right, and Ashton has popped out to the shortstop on the day. Tanner Pierce in the on-deck circle for Kennett. Ashton takes a strike on the outside corner. Strike 1. Pruitt checks the runner. Gardner at first. The pitch. Ground ball in the hole, and the first baseman fields, drops, throws to first, not in time. Everybody's going to be safe, and Matt Gardner will go to third on the play. That is one of those plays that's just bang, bang, and I'm going to probably put that one down as a hit.
I will agree.
The first baseman had to go over in the hole, holding the runner on, so the ground ball, infield single, and then Gardner takes third on the play. So here's a big point in the ball game as Tanner Pierce will come to the plate, and they'll go out to the mound and talk to Noah Pruitt. For Tanner Pierce, he has grounded out to third on a hard hit ball. He's lined out to center and flied out to center. Hit the ball hard, all 3 plate appearances, and has nothing to show for it. And that's part of the game.
You know, and the nice thing about, baseball too is that you do something real big right here and all the rest of those are long gone and forgotten.
Pierce, the Kennett senior, trying to come up with a big hit with runners at first and third. Kennett leading 6-4. We are in the bottom of the 5th inning here at Indian Park as Tad Jones enjoys his popcorn from the concession stand. Just like he's setting back the bleachers as he runs our video controls and continues to crunch on his popcorn. First pitch from Pruitt to Tanner Pierce with runners at the corners and 2 down. Is low, ball 1. J.C. Poole in the on-deck circle for Kennett.
Pruitt took an extremely long amount of time there to deliver the pitch. I was almost wondering if they were waiting on something to happen.
See if Ashton with the first and third situation. We've seen Kennett pull some things with this. I don't know if they'll do it with Tanner Pierce at the plate with a ball 2 high and tight. The conference on the mound may have very well been to discuss how they were going to handle the first and third situation as well as how they wanted to pitch to Tanner Pierce. And Tanner hits it in the hole, and it will get into left field, and Kennett will get a base hit. The ball that was hit the softest by Tanner Pierce in the ball game found a hole between short and third, scores a run on an RBI single
that
to
ball
left field.
Just missed the glove and got through that hole there, so good job, Tanner.
Williams moves up to second. Tanner Pierce now the base runner at first, and here's J.C. Poole with Kennett going ahead 7-4. With a 2-out RBI single by Tanner Pierce. J.C.'s takes strike 1. J.C. looking for his first hit. He's walked, reached on an error, and grounded back to the pitcher. Outside. It's called a strike. 0-2.
Yeah.
It's been that way several times today, so it's not just going one way, but that's a tough pitch. 0-2 now to J.C. as he'll try to protect. Called strike 3. So that'll do it. As the Indians will strand a couple of runners, we will go to the 6th inning. Kennett leads 7-4.
Locally owned Kennett Trust Bank understands the importance of great service, great rates, and putting the focus on you. Hi, this is John Patton with Kennett Trust Bank, inviting you to stop by at our new location, 917 First Street in Kennett. We offer full banking services like checking, savings accounts, plus home, auto, commercial, and agricultural loans. Stop by our new location, 917 First Street today, or online at KennettTrustBank.com. Kennett Trust Bank is proud to support the Kennett Indians. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, this is Daryl Wilcoxon with Wilcoxon's Home Place on the South Bypass in Kennett, Missouri. We're getting new products in every week and would like to help you make your place a showplace. Living room suites, recliners, including lift chairs, bedroom suites, mattress sets with adjustable bases, appliances, and TVs. We have several payment options available. Come see us at Wilcoxon's Home Place Furniture and Appliance, 901 South Bypass in Kennett, Missouri. A family furniture tradition for over 70 years.
We are back at Indian Park as it'll be 8, 9, and 1 due up for Sikeston. Connor Wallace, Heath Poindexter, and Gadberry face Trey Gardner as Trey will start his 6th inning of action. 78 pitches so far in the ball game for Trey, so his pitch count still fairly low after 5 innings of work. Connor Wallace, the shortstop, 1 for 2, struck out. Infield single to Matt Gardner that he hit back up the middle. Trey's first pitch and a ground ball again to Matt Gardner. Tough short hop and a long throw is in time for out number 1. Nice play that time by Matt.
Yeah, that was a good job by Matt there to really kind of stay back and get that hop, and then caught a bad hop in between it, so.
Then he made the long throw, and that may do it here for Trey Gardner. Looks like we have a pitching change as Trey gets his first batter. Heath Poindexter will be coming up. A new pitcher coming on for Kennett. So we'll tell you about the new Kennett pitcher when we return to Indian Park right after this.
Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whenever you want. In your life and on your farm, Case IH AFS Connect gives you more control. Monitor your operation, manage your fleet and your farm data your way. Case IH. Rethink productivity.
Good luck to all area teams from Danny Glass, your Pemiscot-Dunklin Electric Co-op Director for District 1. Danny Glass knows that participating in high school sports plays a huge role in developing the leaders of tomorrow. That's why Danny Glass is glad to help boost high school sports in this area as a sports booster. Again, good luck to all area high school teams from Danny Glass, your Pemiscot-Dunklin Electric Co-op Director for District 1.
There's always something happening at the Kennett Country Club. Go see Larry Boone and John Salmons as the Pro Shop is stocked with great new merchandise. Get your team signed up for the 3-man scramble on May 6th and 7th. And new this year, on Friday, May 5th, Joe Brooks will be at the Pro Shop to do custom club fittings between 10 and 4. And then they will have the big shootout out on the golf course. Appointments are suggested for the club fitting. Call 888-9945 to reserve your time today. It's all happening at the Kennett Country Club.
1 out, the new pitcher is Hayden Gilmore. Gilmore coming in relief of Trey Gardner. Trey pitched a beauty so far and has a 7-4 lead. Nobody owned, 1 out here in the 6th. And Poindexter facing Gilmore takes low ball 1. So the left-hander, Hayden Gilmore, the sophomore, has pitched 16 innings. Earned run average of 2.18 on the season. Leads the team by far in strikeouts with 26 on the season, and he's walked only 7. Ball 2 to Poindexter is Gilmore in relief of Trey Gardner. The number 9 hitter at the plate. And this pitch way high and back to the screen, 3-0. Tad has to put his popcorn down and go readjust his camera again after the screen hits the backstop. Now the 3-0 pitch headed home. Here's a strike on the outside corner. You know, Hayden, looking at his he started 4 games this season, so primarily been a starter, now coming in relief, and he misses high, and a walk to the number 9 hitter, Poindexter. Now Gadberry back to the top of the order will hit. A little bit different sometimes for the pitchers when they have to come in. He's been playing out in the field, and I know he's thrown, in between the innings some.
That, and and a lot of guys just have routines that they go through when they're starting, and I think this is just a good opportunity to see if this is something he can do.
First pitch, a called strike to Gadberry as Poindexter faked to break off at first. We've seen Gilmore with a pretty good move over to first base. The Kennett left-hander. That wasn't as good one there, but Poindexter back in safely.
It's almost like that he knew that he was gonna pick, so he got a really short lead. This will be interesting to see what he does here.
0-1 the count to Gadberry. Poindexter takes his lead at first. Gilmore with the pitch. Outside, ball 1. 1-1 the count. Tad Jones adjusts his camera back behind home plate and resumes his popcorn. You want to say it with a runner at first?
Here we go. How about another double play here, Indians?
Gadberry at the plate. Gilmore with a pitch. Headed home. In the dirt. A good stop by Duncan. Will keep Poindexter at first.
You have to
2-1 the count.
Stay on me over here, Perry. I'm watching these runners, and I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
Now the 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2 again. Poindexter with a fake towards second, trying to throw off the rhythm of Hayden Gilmore. Hayden threw it by Gadberry over the outside part of the plate. Now the 2-2 pitch from Gilmore. With the runner going high, the throw down to second is not in time. Poindexter steals second, and the count goes full to Gadberry. So a runner in scoring position.
Well, it almost looked like that caught JC a little bit off. It's from when he took off.
Pretty good throw that time.
Yeah,
Caleb
it
Duncan
was a
down
good
to
throw.
second. Might have had a chance to get Poindexter, but in there safely. Poindexter now the 3-2. Strike called
there
on the inside corner. Good fastball in there from the Kennett lefty. For Hayden Gilmore, that strikeout number 27 on the season. Next closest is Tanner Pierce. Starts the game with 18, so not even close as far as strikeouts. So 2 down, runner at second. Gilmore's first pitch high and outside. With all the video streams, and they're available to watch, a lot of coaches watching it. And I know Coach Tyler Trover from Portageville asked if Gilmore was our number 1. I told him, I don't know if we really have a number 1. We've had several guys that throw well, but Gilmore has been a good one for us so far. There's a pitch in the dirt, ball 2.
This depends on the day. He might be the number 1 that day, then there might be another number 1 the next day. There's a 1A, a 1B, a 1C, and a 1D. It just depends on.
They all bring a little different thing to the plate. I know Tanner Pierce has had a great season with an ERA of about a third on the season. Here's a swing and a miss. 2-1.
Tanner's got the experience. Trey has some experience from last year, just not as much as Tanner. And then Hayden's the new guy to the game, and Ashton and
and Peyton Branham's pitched really well for us as well. Now the 2-1. Line drive to right field. This is going to get down. The runner at third will round third and come toward the plate. And the throw comes into the plate, but the runner stays at first. RBI single by Heckemeyer. And it's a little closer ball game, 7-5 with a single to right. Poindexter all the way from second will score on the last play. Heckemeyer stays at first, and here's the left-handed hitter, Trace Sullivan, facing Hayden Gilmore.
Left-handed hitter and a runner on first. Let's see what happens here. Now, we changed it up a little bit. Now we have a left-handed pitcher, so.
Outfield shifting around to the left side with Sullivan at the plate. And a ground ball toward the second baseman. Owen Williams is off the bag and can't get back in time, and everybody's safe. Owen went over toward the hole. J.C. Poole made the play, but Williams never got back to the bag.
Yeah.
How are you going to score that one, Coach?
I think that's an error on the first baseman. I don't know. It was hard to see if he was going to make it back in time or if he just missed.
He was about 2 feet from it. I think he was kind of feeling for it, but just couldn't get his foot on the bag. Here's Taylor, the cleanup hitter, at the plate with 2 on. And he takes ball 1. 7-5. Kennett clinging to a 2-run lead. The tying run's on base, and Taylor, if he hits a long ball, puts Sikeston ahead here in the top of the 6th. A hit and an error here in this inning, and a foul ball evens the count 1-1. Sikeston has a little bit of confidence. One win on the season, 1-8 coming into this one. And I mentioned you don't want to let these guys stay close late in the ball game, as they'll get to thinking they can win this thing. And right now they think they can. Ground ball to Tanner Pierce, and he'll step on the bag. Kennett gets out of the inning with a 1-run crossing for Sikeston. They will lead 7-5 as they come to the bat in the bottom of the 6th. Back with more after this.
At Harris Pharmacy, you can get all of your prescriptions in one stop, and we'll even remind you when it's time to get a refill with our MedSync and Refill Reminder programs. Hi, this is Darren with Harris Pharmacy. Stop by today at 1224 1st Street in Kennett for your over-the-counter and prescription needs. You can come through the drive-thru, or we deliver for free inside the city limits of Kennett. We also offer flu, shingles, and pneumonia vaccines. Come see us today at Harris Pharmacy in Kennett. Good luck, Indians.
When your loved one is on the brink, their future in the hands of strangers, and all you have is hope, choose the safest hospital in eastern Arkansas. Your safety isn't a goal, it's a promise.
6th inning we go. Kennett will send Brooks Niggett, Trey Gardner, and Hayden Gilmore. Heart of the order due up here to face Noah Pruitt. Noah, through 2 innings of work, done a nice job after coming into the ball game.
Yeah,
30 pitches, and 20 of the 30 have been strikes. Given up 4 hits and 1 run to the Indians so far. Now Brooks Niggett leading things off, trying to get things started. He's had a great day. 2 for 2 with a walk. Doubled and singled. See if he can continue it here as we start the 6th, facing Noah Pruitt. First pitch is a curveball and a beauty from Pruitt. Strike
Good
1.
pitch.
Greene County Tech will be our opponent tomorrow. 4:30 start here at Indian Park. The 0-1 pitch from Pruitt to Niggett. Outside with the curveball. 1-1 the count. There's a called strike on the inside corner. 1-2 to Niggett. Outfield straight away for Brooks. Infield back. And the 1-2 pitch. Curveball is outside. Ball 2. 2-2. Trey Gardner in the on-deck circle for Kennett. Then it'll be Hayden Gilmore. You're in the 6th. The next pitch is a called strike, and that'll do it. Nice curveball. Freezes Brooks at the plate, and that's out number 1. Trey Gardner is 1 for 2 on the day. Doubled on a long fly ball out to center field. He's walked and struck out in the ball game. First pitch from Pruitt is low, ball 1. 7-5, Kennett with the lead. So we play in the bottom of the 6th. Kennett wants a little insurance here in this inning. Foul tip. May have caught the catcher or the umpire. Evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 due up for Sikeston. Crow, Pruitt, and Levitt in the top of the 7th. The 1-1 pitch is high. Ball 2 to Trey Gardner.
Get some insurance runs here. And
2-1 to Trey. Swing and a miss. Fastball. And Trey gave it a rip. Pruitt got it by him, and the count 2-2. Now the 2-2 to Trey. Low, ball 3. Base runners, runs. However you can get them in this inning for the Kennett Indians. What they're looking for in the 3-2 to Trey. Pops it up and out of play down the left side. It's hard for us to see the crowd at Indian Park. I see several folks from Sikeston making their way down to the ballpark this afternoon.
Pretty good crowd.
Good crowd for Kennett, I'm sure. Now foul tip into the catcher's mitts, Gadberry, and there's out number 2. As Gardner goes down on strikes, and it's up to Hayden Gilmore. Hayden 2 for 3 on the day. Kennett pitcher would like that insurance. He singled on a line drive to right, singled on a ground ball to the shortstop, and his last plate appearance, a strikeout victim. Trying to get something going with 2 outs, and Caleb Duncan moves in the on-deck circle. First pitch inside to Gilmore, ball 1. 7-5, Kennett with a lead over Sikeston. Our wonderful Black Gnats. They're so much fun. Gets around the pitcher's face, Pruitt. He shakes them off, and now ready to go. Pitch a little bit low and in the dirt to Gilmore. 2-0 the count to Hayden. Shadows start to creep out in front of home plate here at Indian Park. The 2-0 pitch to Gilmore. Out. Woo! That ball was 6 inches outside, called a strike. It looked like it was near the dirt. 2-1 the count to Gilmore, and he grounds this one to first. A high hopper fielded there, and they'll step on the bag for the outs. So Indians go 1, 2, 3 in the 6th. We go to the 7th inning. Sikeston will bat, trailing Kennett 7-5.
At American Elite Realty, your business is appreciated. They are locally owned and support the communities you live in. Their professional agents can help you find your new home or commercial property. They work closely with your lender to make the buying process easy. Contact a professional agent at 573-888-5373 or view their listings at AmericanEliteRealty.com. Tina Privet, broker, an equal housing opportunity company.
American Elite Realty is proud to support the Kennett Indians and wishes them a successful season.
Hi, I'm Dr. Wayne. I'd like to invite you to Wayne Chiropractic. Come on in.
Hi, I'm Melissa Morgan. When you're ready to schedule an appointment, just call Wayne Chiropractic.
Soy Gabriela García. Síganme y el Dr. Wayne los ayudará a estar mejor.
Wayne Chiropractic offers DOT, sports, school, and pre-employment physicals and now accepts Medicaid. Learn more at KenmoChiro.com or stop by Wayne Chiropractic at 913 St. Francis Street in Kennett. KenmoChiro.com.
Hayden Gilmore trying to close things out for the Kennett Indians as he'll start his 2nd inning of work. Got the final 2 outs in the 6th as Kennett leads 7-5. It'll be Crow, the number 5 hitter, followed by Pruitt and Levitt for Sikeston. We'd like a quick 1-2-3 inning if you're a Kennett Indian fan. And for Sikeston, they would like to put some pressure on the Indians. Send this thing to the bottom of the 7th. Carter Crow 0 for 3 on the day, facing Hayden Gilmore this time. A strikeout, reached on an error a couple of times in the ballgame. See if we can get him off the base pass here to start this inning. Yeah. Fastball is a called strike.
It's a good start.
Now the 0-1 pitch from Hayden Gilmore. Swing and a miss. There's strike 2. You know, Hayden, this is more typical after he's been into the ball game and then goes to the dugout and comes back out and starts an inning. Instead of coming in after one out in that inning, a little different feel for the youngster.
100%.
The 0-2 pitch fouled out of play, and a good job by Crow to stay alive that time to get the bat on the ball. A tough pitch from Hayden Gilmore.
You know, you see it again at all levels. You know, pitchers coming out might struggle a little bit their first inning, and then they kind of come back out in the second and kind of look a little sharper.
The 0-2, and again, Crow stays alive as he fouls it out of play. Carter Crow leading things off for Sikeston. Kennett outfield shades Crow a little bit to the right side. And the 0-2 again to Crow. Curveball is popped up and going to get over the backstop. Hit us right on the head.
Right on top.
For the roof. Count remains 0-2 as Crow hangs tough at the plate. Gilmore again to the plate. Swing and a miss, and there's out number one here in the seventh. Hayden Gilmore gets the strikeout of Crow, and now it's the pitcher, Noah Pruitt. Not only looked good on the mound, he has been good at the plate. Singled on a ground ball to left, singled a couple of times actually on ground balls to the left fielder. Grounded out to first, his only put out of the ball game. The first pitch sails back to the backstop, ball one from Hayden Gilmore. Hayden wants a different baseball, and he gets one. There's catcher Caleb Duncan. Outfield pretty much straight away for the Kennett Indians defensively. They get a little bit shady to right. There's a fastball at the letters, and it evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Noah Pruitt batting with 1 out, nobody on. Bulldogs trailing the Indians 7-5. Curveball is inside, ball 2, 2-1 the count.
Interesting. I know the fans were.
Yeah,
they didn't like that one so much.
2-1 the count to Pruitt. This ball is low, ball 3. And I kind of get where they're coming for. The way that ball was breaking across the plate and where it was caught, it was, I don't know how it missed the plate.
Yeah.
But 3-1 the count. And a pitch. And a foul ball makes it 3-2. One out, nobody on. Kennett leading 7-5 and a full count to Pruitt. Hayden Gilmore, sophomore lefty, with a pitch and a ground ball back up the middle for a base hit. Poole tried to dive for it and knock it down, but it gets into center field, and a 1-out single brings the tying run to the plate.
About one of those double plays to finish off the game right here.
I was just waiting for you to say that. A left-handed hitter, so you know what we may be seeing here with Pruitt, the base runner. Levitt 1 for 3. Center fielder has good speed. Struck out, fly to left, and doubled on a ball out to right field. Facing now the left-hander, Gilmore. The first pitch from Hayden is outside, ball 1. 7-5, Kennett with a lead. Pruitt, the base runner at first for Sikeston, and we're in the top of the 7th inning. The 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike, 1-1 count. Good breaking pitch that time for the Kennett left-hander. Wallace in the on-deck circle for Sikeston. The 1-1. Curveball and a swing and a miss by Levitt. He's in the hole, 1-2. Good
job, Caleb.
Pitch in the dirt.
Again, I could be wrong. I just don't see him running in this situation here. Being down 2 runs, in the hole. Chance to strike him out, throw him out.
Now the 1-2 from Gilmore. Hits the batter. Oh, my goodness. Hit batters have been a big issue for Kennett pitchers here in the last few games, and that puts the go-ahead run at the plate with Connor Wallace. Pruitt to second, Levitt at first after Gilmore had him 1-2 in the count. Kennett will have a little conference at the mound as Coach Aaron New will come out and visit with his ball club. The number 8 hitter, Connor Wallace, will be the hitter. Connor has struck out, singled on a infield hit to the shortstop and grounded out to the shortstop. Would take a ground ball double play to end this ball game. Sikeston with a couple of runners on and trailing 7-5. Just one out here in the 7th. They break up the conference on the mound. Caleb Duncan back behind the plate. Connor Wallace stands in. Pruitt takes his lead at second. A short lead, Levitt at first. Williams plays behind the runner at first. And the first pitch to Wallace. Called strike on the outside corner. Like to see Hayden keep it right there with 2 more and get out number 2 here in this inning.
Still got that double play opportunity intact here.
The 0-1 pitch. A curveball and a swing and a miss. And it's quickly 0-2 on Connor Wallace. Hayden was ahead of Levitt 1-2 when he hit him with a pitch. He wants to finish things off with Wallace here with a couple of runners on and 1 down in the 7th. Checks the runner at second. The 0-2 and a swing and a miss. And there's out number 2. Big strikeout by the sophomore Hayden Gilmore. So Heath Poindexter will hit. Maybe have a pinch hitter coming in. It will be a pinch hitter, I believe, coming in for Poindexter. Looks like, I believe Johnson will be the pinch hitter. Left-handed hitter, Philip Johnson. Sikeston has their JV players listed also on their game changers, so not sure the hitter, but this pitch is low. Ball 1. Let me look back on the Sikeston lineup card. It is Johnson at the plate, so Philip Johnson at the plate takes a strike over the outside corner. So 1-1 the count to Johnson. 2 on, 2 down in the 7th. Kennett trying to wrap this one up. Sikeston trying to force Kennett to go to the bottom half of the inning.
Come on, Hayden.
Philip Johnson, the go-ahead run at the plate. The pitch. Ground ball towards short. Fielded off the glove of Matt Gardner and into left field. That will score 1 run. The runner going to third, and the ball will be thrown to the left of the third baseman, Tanner Pierce, and everyone's safe. And now it's a 1-run ball game and back to the top of the order in Gadberry. That ball kind of took a wicked hop to Matt Gardner and got over his glove. So Pruitt comes in to score on the last play. Levitt goes to third. He's the tying run. Johnson, the runner at first, and here's Luke Gadberry, 0 for 3 on the day in a 7-6 ball game. He's grounded back to the pitcher, grounded out to second, and walked. Kennett trying to get the final out of this one without a run scoring. First pitch, a fastball poured in there from Hayden Gilmore. Strike 1 to Luke Gadberry. 7-6, Kennett clinging to a 1-run lead with 2 outs and runners at the corners for Sikeston here in the top of the 7th. Gilmore with the next pitch to the plate. A little bit low, ball 1. 1-1 the count. Johnson takes his lead at first. He goes on the pitch, and there's a strike. No throw down to second, obviously, and the count 1-2 on Gadberry. Kennett needing 1 more strike here to record the SEMO Conference victory over Sikeston. Now they have a couple of runners in scoring position with 2 down, and the 1-2 pitch to Gadberry. Hits him, and the bases are loaded. Second hit batter in the inning. And now the dangerous Joseph Heckmeyer will come to the plate. He's 3 for 4 on the day. Boy, the control that the Kennett pitchers have shown early in the season has just really dropped off recently. That is the 5th hit batter by Hayden Gilmore this season. He struck out 26 coming into the ball game. Now Heckmeyer, who is 2 for 3 on the day with the bases loaded, the go-ahead run down at second base. The first pitch to Heckmeyer, fouled back to the screen, strike 1. Gilmore's been ahead in the count to a couple of batters here and lost them. So he hit Gadberry as he had him set up for the strikeout. Now the base is loaded for the Bulldogs. 2 down, top of the 7th. The sophomore, Hayden Gilmore, comes set in the 0-1 pitch to Heckmeyer. Swings at a curveball in the dirt, and that's strike 2. Again, Gilmore way ahead in the count. See if the young sophomore can finish off Joseph Heckmeyer. The right-handed hitter back in the box, and Hayden Gilmore stares in to Caleb Duncan for the sign. 2 outs, bases loaded for Sikeston, trailing by a run. The 0-2 pitch. Gilmore to the plate. Swing and a miss at a curveball, and Kennett hangs on for the win, 7-6. Big strikeout by Hayden Gilmore, and that'll end this one. We'll come back, check the final totals right after this.
What started with our grandfather and continues in its 4th generation today, Glen Sane's history of quality sales, service, and strong personal relationships that have kept our customers and their families coming back for over 69 years.
From my grandpa to my dad to us, service after the sale is a big deal. Whether you're looking to buy a GMC, Chevrolet, Buick, or Ford, we look forward to serving you and your family for years to come.
Agriculture is not a fad, and it's not for the faint of heart. Long days become long nights, sacrificing time away from family, even on weekends, just so you can get the crop in and get the crop out. This is your way of life. At Farm Credit Southeast Missouri, we are 100% bought into your commitment. Because we are customer-owned, it is our mission to be your ag lender, and we intend to be your value-added partner for next year and the long term.
Your ag lender will always be there.
Well, Kennett wins this one 7-6. It's not always pretty, but it's good to get a win in the win column. As we look at the box score here in this ball game, Kennett with 7 runs on 9 hits in the ball game. Sikeston with 6 runs on 8 hits in the ball game. Kennett committed 5 errors, and that's not typical baseball for the Kennett Indians. 5 errors in the ball game for the Indians. Sikeston, on the other hand, committed 3, so errors a big part of this ball game. As we look at the scoring, Kennett jumped out 2-0 with a couple of runs at the bottom of the first, but Sikeston answered with a run in the top of the second. Kennett came up empty in the bottom of the second. Sikeston tied the ball game with the run in the top of the third. But Kennett with a 4-run bottom of the third was the difference in the ball game as Kennett went up 6-2. Stayed that way until we went to the 5th inning, and a couple of runs by Sikeston made it 6-4. Kennett getting an insurance run, though, in the bottom of the 5th inning to make it 7-5 or 7-4. Then a run in the top of the 6th for Sikeston. Kennett came up empty in the bottom of the 6th, and then a run for Sikeston in the top of the 7th pulled the Bulldogs within 1, but a strikeout by Hayden Gilmore ends the ball game. Let's look at the totals in this one for the Kennett Indians. At the plate, Tanner Pierce was 1 for 4 with an RBI in the ball game. 2 runs scored for J.C. Poole in the ball game, but J.C. did not record a hit in this one. 2 for 3 was Brooks Niggett in the ball game with a couple of runs scored. Brooks also had an RBI in the ball game. Trey Gardner was 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. Hayden Gilmore was 2 for 4 in the ball game, with 2 RBIs and a run scored for the Indians. And Matt Gardner, very good at the plate today, was 2 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI. Ashton Williams was 1 for 3 at the plate for the Indians in this ball game. Looking at the pitching totals, Trey Gardner gets the win. He went 5 1/3 innings and gave up 6 hits, 4 runs. Only 1 of Trey's runs was earned. He walked 2 and struck out 4. Hayden Gilmore came in and gets the save as he pitched the final inning and 2/3. Hayden gave up only 2 hits, but 2 runs. 1 of those runs was earned. He walked 1, struck out 4, but he also hit some critical batters in the ball game as Hayden hit 2 batters while he was in there pitching for the Indians. But the Indians escaped with a victory, 7-6 over Sikeston. A hard-fought SEMO Conference matchup with the Bulldogs. So the Indians remain perfect, but still not definitely playing their best baseball. They got a 1-run lead, or 1-run win over Portageville earlier this week, and they get a 1-run win over Sikeston here at Indian Park here on Wednesday. Tomorrow, it's Greene County Tech. Our next opponent, don't know much about the Eagles, but normally they have a pretty good ball club, and they will be coming to Indian Park at 4:30 start time. And then on Saturday, another SEMO Conference matchup, as we are going to Dexter to take on the Dexter Bearcats, a 10 a.m. start. And Tad Jones says that's awful early for a baseball game. Isn't that right, Tad?
He ain't lying.
So that'll be at Dexter on Saturday, 10 o'clock start time, bright and early, Saturday baseball. Hopefully the rain will hold off and come in later in the day, and we won't have issues with that. Tomorrow looks like a beautiful day for baseball at Indian Park. Indians take on Greene County Tech. 7-6, the final score here. Kennett over Sikeston. That'll do it for our broadcast. Thanks to Lance Penn for setting in with us on our broadcast today. Tad Jones, award-winning video coordinator, Tad Jones, with our all of the hard work at the ballparks, and he has done a ton of these, and he will be helping tomorrow as we get things set up for a Greene County Tech broadcast. I'm Perry Jones, and we couldn't do it without all of our great Kennett Indian sports sponsors. That'll do it. 7-6 final score, Indian Park. We'll talk to you tomorrow afternoon around 4:15 with more Kennett Indian baseball.
This has been Kennett Indian Baseball. Sponsors for our broadcast include Baker Implement Company, Wilcoxon's Home Place Furniture in Kennett, by McDonald's, by Farm Credit Services of Southeast Missouri, the Law Office of Todd and Atwood, State Farm Insurance Agent Greg Wilson, Kennett Trust Bank, by the Law Office of Peltz, McMullen, Edgington, and Morgan, Harris Pharmacy, Southeast Missouri State University in Kennett, by Glen Sane Motors, by Pemiscott Dunklin Director Danny Glass, by Larry Boone and John Sammons at the Kennett Country Club, by American Elite Realty, and by NEA Baptist Hospital. Broadcast boosters include FM Bank, T.R. Baker Insurance, Skeeter Kell Sporting Goods, Duncan Sheet Metal, Bentley Farms, and Zenith State Bank. This broadcast has been a production of Pollock Broadcasting Company.